Well, hello and welcome to our reading of selections from Herodotus, and I've been reading book 1 up to chapter 8, and this is the fairly famous story of Kandaules, or the first part of it. So, Houtos de on ho Kandaules eraste tesia tu gunaikos, erastes de enomids de hoi anai gunaika polin passion callistein. This, so therefore, the own for oon, therefore this Kandaules, now the day is really important here. In fact, I meant to draw your attention, it's very emphatic here. Literally, he fell in love with his own wife, which in a time when most marriages were arranged and organised, this was probably a fairly rare thing to happen. This is passive here, of course, and it's in the sense of was enamored of, or something like this, but it's probably more with active meaning. So he fell in love with his own wife. Erastes, and then participle here, again a passive participle, and having fallen in love, enomizde, he considered the wife. Now the hoi here is dative of the possessor, so it's hoi for auto in the dative. So having fallen in love, he considered the wife for him to be Callistein, the most beautiful of all women, passeon, uncontracted. This is the feminine form from pasapan, and polon's adverbial, by far. So he considered his own wife to be the most beautiful by far of all women. Hosti de tauta nomizdon en ga hoi ton eikmophoron guges hodaskulu ariskominos malista. Toi to guge kai ta spudiestera ton pregmaton hu petitheto hokandaules kai de kai to edos tes gunaikos hu be ep neon. Now we get our little phrase here, and then we get a sort of an insert here, which is probably best to do first. So, for there was, now again another dative of the possessor for auto, there was for him a guy called Gyges, the son of Dascylus. And he was among, partitive genitive, among the eikmophoron, literally these ones who carry an eikme, a spear. So this is his bodyguard. So there was, among his bodyguard, there was a guy called Gyges for him, Ariskominos, the son of Dascylus, who was pleasing to him, malista, most of all. Now, we have to get this little early section. The hostie here is, a little bit like Hate here, inasmuch as him thinking these things. So inasmuch that he held this opinion, there was for him among his bodyguard Gyges, the son of Dascylus, who was pleasing to him most of all. And to this Gyges, Kandaules, now the verb here is huper titheto, which is to put in charge of. So he put him in charge of the ta spudiestera. This is comparative. Well, comparative really being used for almost superlative. So it's the more important matters, the more important things among his affairs. So it's dative here after this verb hupertithemai. So Kandaules placed this man Gyges in charge also of the things that were most important, or perhaps the more important things among his affairs. Kai de kai, and also huper ep aineon. This is this huper. He was praising praising greatly. Also the eidos, the appearance, hence we'd say beauty, tes gunaikos, of his wife. Chronu de polu dielthontos krenga kandaule genesthai kakos, elege pros ton gugain toiadi. We get a genitive absolute, and so not much time having passed, and we get this very strange little section here saying, for it was necessary for Kandaules, well, we'd say here to fare badly, literally to be badly, so we would say to fare badly. So it was fated for things to go badly for Kandaules. This is an interesting idea that Herodotos often shows some belief in the idea of fate, that things are premeditated and predetermined, and that fate causes things and there's nothing you can do about them. So not much time having passed, for it was necessary for things to go badly for Kandaules, he began to say, it's imperfect, to Gyges toiadi, the following things. Guge uga se dokio paithesthai moi legonti peritu e deos tes gunaikos, otaga tunkane anthropoisin, eonta apistotera ophthalmon, poie hokos ekanein the ACI gumnain. O Gyges, for I do not think, we get these uncontracted forms in the Ionic, I do not think you, now this is passive here, not middle, I think, to be persuaded by me when I say, we've got a dative participle agreeing with moi, so I don't think you're persuaded by me when I speak, perhaps for Lego here, regarding the eidos, genitive here, the beauty, uncontracted, of my wife. And then we get this parenthetical maxim here, for the ears for mortals, chance being less trustworthy than the eyes. That is, you can hear something and it may not be true until you've actually seen it with your own eyes. It's a lovely little phrase here. So for the eyes for men, chance being less trustworthy, and a genitive of comparison after the comparative here, than their eyes. Poie is an imperative. It literally means do something, and so possibly you could translate that as make it happen. So do something so that the asei, this is from the amai, do something so that, this is the second person here, so that you might see her naked, gumne. In other words, you must see her naked. You must act so as to see her naked. Ho de mega amboses epe, despota tina leges logon uk hugi ea, keluen me despoinan tain emain, the asas thy gumnain. So, he, now the here, the ambosas is, the am is from Anna. This is from Anna bo'a'o. It's to cry out. This often happens with Anna. The alpha elides, and then the nu, the nasal, becomes a labial nasal before the labial beta. So he, having cried out greatly, ape, he said, despota, vocative from despotes, O master. What is this word you are speaking, which is not hugiea, literally healthy? So we might say sound or perhaps wholesome. So what is this word you are saying which is not wholesome? Bidding me, theasasthai, again from theaomai, to see, so bidding me to see my mistress, Gumnain, naked. Hamade kithoni ek duomeno, sun ek duitai kai ten edo gune. Get another little interesting aphorism here. There are lots and lots of these throughout Herodotos. Now this word here is, in Attic, would be ketone. Again, we're getting the reverse aspiration. So the chi in ketone is being deaspirated to a kappa, and the tor in ketone is being aspirated to a theta. So this strange looking word really is just ketone. So the taking it from here, literally a woman also takes off her modesty at the same time as removing the ketone. So when a woman takes off her clothes, we would say, she also takes off her modesty. So it's along with her ketone being removed, this is passive here, a woman removes at the same time her modesty. Palai de takala anthropoisi ex huretai ectone manthanen de. Long ago, takala, literally the good things, the noble things, ex huretai, this is a passive word found, have been found, it's a perfect passive from ex hurisco. So long ago, the good conduct or noble things or the right course of action was discovered, neuter plural singular verb, by mankind. And from these things, day, it is necessary, manthanein, to learn. En toisi hen todiesti scopio tina ta hiautu. Another one of these aphorisms here. Among whom there is this one thing, that is, among mankind, this one thing is important. There is this one thing for someone, scopain, to keep an eye on his own affairs. In other words, for each one person, there is this one important thing for each person to mind their own business. Ego de pathomai ekanein anai passion gunaikon kalistain kaiseo deamai me diesthai anomon. But I, again passive here, I think, I am persuaded that that woman to be the most beautiful of all women. And now seo for Sue, this is just another Ionic word, seo for Sue, genitive after deamai. So I ask of you, so I beseech you, not to ask of me, understood, and we get a partitive genitive, anomon, lawless things. So I beg you not to ask of me to do that which is lawless. Homin de legon toi auta apemaketo arodeon meiti hoi ex auton genetai kakon. And he, now we get a nice men, and the det is down here, so he in fact saying such things, literally he fought him off. So he, or perhaps tried to fight his way clear. Arodeon, in Attic this is orodeon, so just a slight difference in spelling from Attic. Arodeo is to be frightened, so fearing lest, verbs of fearing generally take this may, fearing lest some evil thing might happen, hoi, to him, dative of the possessor. Well, sorry, no, it's just the dative here, hoi for auto, lest some evil thing might happen to him, ex auton, as a result of these things. Hode emebetot tois ide, and he replied with the following words: Tha seguge, kai me phobiu meti eme, Hosio peromenos lego logon tondi meti gunai katen emein, meti toi exaltes genetai blabos. Oh, take heart, Gyges, and do not fear. Again, slightly it's Omicron Upsilon in Attic. So do not fear, and now we get mete and mete, neither me, that I am speaking this word, making trial of you. So don't fear that I'm saying this just to test you out. Nor fear my wife. We're going to supply fear from here now. Nor fear my wife, lest blabos is neuter, verb declension, lest some harm, from blapto is the verb underlying this, lest some harm might come. Now, toi is for soy, for you, ex autes, from her side. So don't fear that I'm saying this just to test you out, nor fear my wife, lest some harm might come to you at her hand. Arcane ga ego me kinesamai huto hosti medi mathane min of their son hupos you. Now the arcane here is adverbial, so it's something like to begin with. You'll see this elsewhere in Herodotos, so especially towards the beginning of the sentence. So for to begin with, I, mekanesamai, I will devise. From mekanao, I think is the verb. So I will devise it thus, so I will arrange it thus, so that, now min for autain, so that she does not mathane learn, hence realise, so that she doesn't realise herself off their son. This is the aorist passive feminine participle from Herodotos. She doesn't realise that she has been seen hupos you, for su, by you. Ego ga se es to oikema en to koinomatha, opis there tes anoigomenes, thures steso. For I, and we're going to go down here to get the main verb, I will station you, opis there, behind the open door. This is the door having been being opened. This is just a feminine passive participle, feminine agreeing with thura. So behind the open door, in the oikama, probably chamber here, in which, again we're getting the article for the relative pronoun, in which we sleep. So, for I will station you behind the open door, in the chamber in which we sleep. Meta de eme es elthonta parestai kai hegune he eme es koiton. The meta probably is adverbial here. You often get these prepositions early in a sentence, and they're often adverbial. It's sort of afterwards. Also my wife, te eme, will be present beside, so this is from parami, will be present beside me, es elthonta, after I have entered, es koiton, into the bed. So after I've entered the bed, my wife will be present afterwards for me, or with me. Katai de anku tes es odu thronos. A thronos, so perhaps a throne, perhaps a chair, might be better here. A chair lies near the entrance. Epiteuton ton himaton kata hen hekaston ekdunousa these kai katezukian pollen parexe toi theosasthai. And on this, that is on this thronos, on this chair, now the kata, I think, is temesis with the tithemi, the these here, to place down. So on this chair, she will place down each one ton himation of her garments as she takes them off, ek dunusa, from ekduno, and the kat hazukian pole, it's something like perhaps at your leisure. Hezukia is quietness or relaxation, so perhaps you will have much leisure will be provided, toi for soy for you, to gaze upon her. So slightly funny little section there. So there will be much quiet opportunity will be present for you to gaze upon her. Ep ian de apo to thronu stike epitane unane kata notu te autes genei soi melato to en thuten hopos me se opsatai eonta dia thureon. Now I've just forgotten what I had there. So epian de apo to thronu. So when stike from it's like stako, it means to walk in a straight line, but it's just walk here. So when she walks away from the chair into the bed, she will be, this is second person future here from Ginamai, she will be second person, you will be behind her back. So when she walks from the chair to the bed, you will be behind her back. Soi meleto, let it be a concern to you. In other words, take care. Tot and thuten, as we've seen before, the reverse aspiration. Take care at this point. Hokos for hoppos, we've seen before, the pi replaced with a kappa. So take care at that point, lest she will see you as you are going dia thureon out through the doors. And that's the end of the first section of the story of Kandaules and Gyges.